6 types of Japanese demons. Japan is another land filled with vibrant creatures, myths, and legends. It is a culture that has long since fascinated me. I realize it would be sensible to continue with religion-based types of demons, but I wanted to break away a little and look at things from the broader perspective of folklore and culture. Japan is a land absolutely chock full of myths, legends, and other supernatural tales. The concept of the yokai, demons and other impish creatures, is a rich one that has fueled bedtime stories, manga, anime, and computer games for generations. Interest in the Japanese demons of hell has grown in recent decades as Japanese horror stories spread to the West. Mainstream movies such as The Grudge and The Ring were awarded American remakes, so the legend of Japanese horror was born. The interesting thing about dealing with the types of demons that appear in folklore and stories instead of religion is that you take away the concept of good and evil, saint or sinner. The types of demons in folklore are not there to exact vengeance on those who have defied or turned away from God. Instead, they are just evil bastards who enjoy inflicting pain and suffering on those they come across. So it is here that we shall give in to some of the more colorful and inventive demons of hell, or whichever place of punishment it is they choose to dwell in. Hold on tight, and keep your hands and feet inside the margins at all times, because things are about to get a little freaky. Please take a deep breath as we look at some of the wildest types of demons in Japan. Shuden Doji. Unlike many demons who live on, temporarily vanquished only to rise up again, Shuden Doji is a demon from yesteryear who finally met his match. However, before his demise, Shuden Doji was a giant demon, standing around 50 feet tall with horns covering his head and 15 eyes. His red skin only added to his angry image. He ruled over the world like a warlord and lived in a mountain lair. A lovely chap, he preyed on young women, forcing them into servitude before finally devouring them. But, as with all evil beings, he had a weakness. Forsake. Ultimately, he met his match when Japanese folk hero Minamoto Reich separated his head from the rest of him. A move that even a demon like Shuden Doji couldn't survive. Yuki-onna. Yuki-onna is a female demon known as the Snow Woman. The history of Yuki-onna can be traced back to the early 1300s and has gone through many different incarnations over the years. However, the standard telling of the tale is of her as a tall woman with pale skin and long black hair. She wears a white kimono and appears when snow falls. She glides over the ground, almost like a ghost. However, despite her spectral image, she is considered a demon due to her ability to take corporeal form and appear wherever she wishes, unbound by any emotional ties. The origins of her story are debated, but again, there is consistency in her methods. The demon of hyperthermia, Yuki-onna, appears before her victims, asking them to hold the child. Anybody who accepts is frozen to death by the child. Those that refuse find themselves pushed to their deaths. The demon then feasts on her victims' souls, sucking their very essence through their frozen mouths. Yamoba. There are tales of a process called yubasu that dates back many centuries in Japan. It is rumored that when the elderly were no longer an asset to a home, they were taken out to the woods and abandoned. This same myth surrounds the famous Japanese suicide forest. It is also a similar base for the Yamoba. These demons are thought to be old women who retired to the woods or mountains when they were no longer useful to society. From there, it is said, they developed a taste for human flesh. Once again, there are different tales surrounding these wily old creatures. However, a consistent theme is their taste for young women and children. The Yamoba descend from their hideouts to offer shelter to pregnant women, especially those about to give birth, intending to eat the child as soon as it arrives. They also wander into towns and villages, sniffing out any child whose mother is not home. The innocence of youth must make the meat extra tender. Kappa. Until now, the types of demons we have encountered on this list have been relatively mundane as far as the whole demonic activity thing is concerned. But then you have the Imagine the creature of the Black Lagoon, and you have an image of the kappa already. Humanoid frog creatures with webbed hands and feet. They attack people in the water, trying to steal the mythical Shiriko-dama organ. The kappa believe this organ can be found in the anus of their victims. It's interesting to note that in all my research, it never says the kappa kill their victims before extraction. Instead, it says they assault them. Take what you will from that. However, the kappa need to remain in the water because if the liquid-filled dent in their heads dries up, or spills, then so do they die. Quite the strange sounding and, dare I say, kinky demon, certainly a worthy addition to the world's list of different types of demons. Kuchisake-onna. The slit-mouthed woman, Kuchisake-onna, is quite a gruesome and bloodthirsty demon. End speech. The Kuchisake-onna is a woman who walks around wearing a surgical mask. She approaches the children, asking them if they find her beautiful. Those that say yes are treated to her sliced open maw beneath the mask. They then get asked the same question. If they answer no, then she kills them with her medical scissors. Those who answer yes are then treated to the same ear-to-ear sliced smile she has. The only way that you can escape Kuchisake-onna's scissors is to give her a noncommittal answer, such as "Oh, you looked okay." This sort of answer confuses the Kuchisake-onna, giving the intended victims the time they need to escape her clutches. Okiku. The Okiku is an interesting demon set in the context of a story regarding morality. The legend goes that a young servant girl called the attention of her samurai master. However, after repeatedly rejecting her master's advances, she became a victim of his evil games. Determined to get what he wanted, the samurai hid an expensive family plate. After convincing the servant girl she had lost the plate, he gave her a choice. Accept him as a lover or face the death penalty for your crime. After counting the plates several times and searching the house to no avail, the girl accepts her guilt and its punishment. This final rejection is too much for the samurai to accept, and he kills the girl. The Okiku is her returning spirit that counts the plates repeatedly, uttering an ear-splitting screech every time she fails to see the 10th plate. She haunts the men of the house, driving them mad. In the end, her victims kill themselves to escape her screams.